For the cat pose, you want to get down on all fours on your yoga mat, placing both hands right beneath the shoulders and both knees about shoulder width apart right below the hips. Feel free to tuck your toes in if necessary. You're going to inhale deep and then exhale as you push away from the ground, arching your back, sucking your belly in, and dropping your head down, giving ourselves a nice back stretch here. Feel free to breathe deeply into this pose a few times, or inhale as you return to neutral before exhaling and doing it again. The child's pose is a relaxing pose that you can do by getting down on all fours. You're going to bring your knees out slightly further than shoulder width apart as you push back, sitting down on your hindquarters, on your heels. If you need a bolster or a pillow or yoga block, feel free to place that under your glutes if necessary. You're going to go ahead and bring your forehead down to the ground, keeping your arms nice and extended. Press those palms firmly into the ground, bringing your shoulders back and down. Breathe deeply here and relax into this pose, opening the hips and bringing the shoulders down. Continue to maintain firm pressure with your palms, extending those arms, and breathe deeply. For the Cobra Pose, you want to be flat on your belly, and then you're going to place both hands shoulder width apart right above shoulder level. From here, you just want to give yourself a nice exhale as you push up and forward. You can feel a nice spinal compression. Make sure you're nice and straight, looking forward in a neutral position. The corpse pose, otherwise known as Savasana, is probably the easiest and most relaxing yoga pose of all. But you want to be able to do it correctly. So laying on the ground as comfortably as you can, you want to make sure that your body is in anatomical position, which means your feet are about shoulder width apart, and it's okay if they splay out slightly. If you feel relaxed, you're doing this at least half right. Both your hands stay palm up on either side of your torso, also slightly away from your torso. The biggest, most important thing are that your shoulders are back and rotated downward. This is what ensures that your shoulder blades stay flat on the ground. That's what you want to do, and make sure your hips are rotated up too so that you're not arching up, and just remain here in a relaxed, calm state, breathing in deeply with your eyes closed. For the cow pose, you want to get down on all fours on your yoga mat or the floor, placing both hands right below shoulder level, about shoulder width apart, and both knees right underneath your hips, about shoulder width apart. You want to inhale as you sink your back down, dropping your belly towards the floor and lifting your tailbone towards the sky. Then you're going to look up towards the sky with your head. You can breathe deeply here for as long as you feel, or you can exhale, coming back to a neutral position, and then inhale, doing the pose one more time. For the downward dog pose, you want to find comfortable space on your mat where you can get into plank position. Keeping both feet about shoulder width apart, you want to exhale as you push back, lifting your hips and bending at the waist, then pushing your heels down into the ground. You want to continue to press your palms away from the mat as you pull up through the belly and the hips, and keep your feet flat and your legs extended. If you have a difficult time with this, feel free to lift your heels off the ground and give your knees a little bend as you push. Then focus on extending them over time as you increase flexibility. When performing a forward bend, you want to make sure that your feet are together and your weight is evenly distributed between the toes and the heels. You want to stand up nice and straight, aligning the spine, bringing your shoulders back and looking forward in a neutral position. Keeping that torso up and out of the hips, you want to bend at the waist slightly, pushing those hips back ever so slightly, and keeping your back nice and straight. Aim to have the belly reach towards the top of the thighs. When you go as far as you can go, feel free to relax your head in a neutral position. You can also place your hands on your upper thighs, behind your calves, or your ankles for support or to help pull you deeper into the pose. Don't forget to breathe deeply. For half Lord of the Fishes pose, you're going to sit down on the mat in cross-legged position. You're going to bring one leg into your glutes, that heel's going right under your glutes, right into your groin, nice and bent. This other leg is going to go up and over on top of it. You're going to place that foot right above the knee. Everything stays nice and tight. From here, you're going to rotate your body in towards your leg, bringing that opposite arm around to the outside of the knee. You're going to put pressure with that elbow against the outside of that knee. As you rotate, you're going to exhale, and then you're going to bend your elbow, raising your palm up nice and straight. It's going to be perpendicular to the floor. Make sure you look back as far as you can as you breathe deeply into this pose. Hi, my name is Marin, and I'm here to show you how to do the half moon pose. So we're going to place both feet firmly together. You want to center your weight in between your toes and your heels. You're going to inhale as you raise your arms up. Looking up, you're going to clasp your hands at the top of your head. Bring your head back to neutral as you squeeze your arms to your head, pulling your fingertips up towards the sky, but then you're going to set your shoulders down at the same time. Keep those hips in line with the spine, and then push them out to one side as you begin to lean to the other. You really want to make sure that your neck and your chest stay open and your shoulders stay back. And you just want to push into this as far as you can and breathe deeply. When you're done, exhale, come to the center, and don't forget to do the other side. For the upward dog pose, you'll find yourself on the mat, either in plank pose or in downward dog pose. You can either move through to the plank and drop your hips slowly, or from downward dog, you can push in through it, bringing your head and your chest down to the mat and lifting up into upward dog. Once you get here, make sure you turn your feet up so that the tops of your feet are down on the mat and you rest your hips down. For the warrior pose, you want to start with both feet together, planted firmly, standing upright, keeping everything nice and aligned. You're going to take a large step out to the side, pointing your toe completely out to the side. The back leg remains in a neutral position with the foot either perpendicular to your front toe or at a 45-degree angle. You're going to squat down, bringing a bend in the front knee to 90 degrees while raising both arms up and out over to your sides parallel to the ground with palms down. Looking forward out ahead of you, you're going to come down deep into this, keeping a tight core and breathing deeply into this pose. The wind freeing pose is a great relaxing movement to massage your hip joints and increase flexibility. You're going to lay on the ground gently into corpse pose. As you lay here gently, you're going to bring one knee up towards your chest, bringing both hands outside of that knee or shin. Pull it into your chest, forming a nice compression. You want to make sure both of your hips or your tailbone is completely flat on the ground as you do this. Exhale as you squeeze, then breathe deeply, feeling that compression. And just let gravity bring you deeper into the pose as you place both hands on the top of your knee. Once you're done, don't forget to switch and do the other side.